Welcome back, and for this video we're going to look at subtracting. Oh, I'm still in red, that's okay, we'll go with red. Subtracting, and we'll go positive integers again. Just remember, positive means greater than 0, and integers means whole numbers. So that's what we're doing today. Alright, let me go back to black, I feel a bit scared being in red. Let's do it. So subtracting positive integers. Again, you would have learnt this in primary school. But let's just have a quick look at how to do this. So 163 minus 41. We'll start with a nice simple one. Okay. So again, with subtraction, make sure that your units are in the same column, tens are in the same column, hundreds, etc., etc., etc. Okay. And we just do it one at a time. 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. 1 minus, well, what's this here? That's like this little fake 0 there. So 1 minus 0 is 1. So our answer is 122. Okay, nice and easy. What happens when life gets a little bit harder? So 163 minus 70. Let's do this one. Okay, everything's lined up in its correct columns. 3 minus 0 is 3. 6 minus 7. Now, here we go, we're going to get into negative numbers. We can't do that. If you've got 6 donuts, you can't take 7 donuts away from 6 donuts. It's impossible. So what you need to do is borrow from this guy here. Here's our big number. If you look at this number here, there's 6 in the tens column, but you can actually think about that as 16 in the tens column if you bring this 1 across to here. And that's what we can actually do. So what we call that is borrowing, or you might have heard it called different things. But you take this down by 1, so that 1 goes down to 0, and this 6 goes up to 1. Okay, so that's like 16 tens. And if you think about 16 tens, that's 160, which is what we have there, 160, and then there's a 3 there too. So that's what we've got. So now that we've borrowed, we can do this subtraction. 16 minus 7 is equal to 9. And then you have 0 minus 0, which is just 0. You don't need to write that in. I just want to show you. So 93 is the answer. Let's just do a couple more examples because it's really good to see some bigger ones. I'm just going to make some numbers up. Minus 459. Okay. Let's have a look. This one looks like a bit of a tricky one, so let's be really careful here. Now, start with the units. 1 minus 9. Can we do it? No, so we need to borrow. So we go next door and we borrow 1 from the 2. So the 2, we borrow 1 from here, he goes down to 1, and then we put a 1 in front of there. So we've added 1 from the tens column into the units column. This now becomes 11. So 11 minus 9 is 2. And then here we have now 1 minus 5. Again, we can't do it. 1 minus 5 does not work. And so we need to borrow again. So we need to borrow from this 7. I'm just going to delete that because it's in my way sort of thing. So if we borrow 1 from the 7, that becomes a 6. And the 1 comes over to here. This now becomes 11 because we've borrowed 1 from the tens column over here. So 11 minus 5 is 6. In the hundreds column here, 6 minus 4, we can do that. That's nice. 2 and 6 minus 0, there's like a 0 there, is 6. And so your answer is 6,262. Okay. One more example and then I'm going to go to bed. No, not really. It's only, you can look at the time, 7:23. Just joking. 9,000 minus 121. Let's do this one very, very quickly. 0 minus 1. We can't do it. That's annoying. So we go next door. But there's 0 there. We can't borrow anything from there. So we go again. There's 0 there, we can't borrow anything again, so we go next door. Alright, now we've got some stuff here that we can borrow. So I'm just going to get rid of those things because it's going to get a little bit messy. What we need to do is borrow 1 from here, that becomes 8. That becomes 1 there, and then we have 10. Remember what we're trying to do though, we're trying to borrow 1 to get something here that's bigger than 1. So there's 10. We want to borrow 1 from 10, that becomes 9, and this one goes to 10. Again, this is now 10, we want to borrow 1 from there, that becomes 9, and 1 ends up going here. And if you just have a quick look at this, what we've left with, this says 8,900, sorry I put commas in there for some reason, 8,990.10 is sort of what it's saying, 8,990.10. But we know we don't call this number 8,990.10, we call it, what's the number after 8,999? If you add 1 to it, it's 9,000. So you can see we haven't actually changed this number, we've just changed how it looks to help us with this subtraction. Hopefully that makes sense. That's the whole big idea of subtraction. 10 minus 1 is 9, 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 1 is 8, 8 minus 0 is 8, and your answer is 8,879. Hope that makes sense. See you in the next video.